In Congressman Greg Steube of the great state of Florida. Congressman, it's always good to see you. This bill is a huge political victory for the president and for Speaker Johnson as well. But as you heard, conservatives still have some concerns here. Listen to what Texas Congressman Keith Self, the deciding vote, by the way, on this bill, told me this morning about the so-called SALT deductions. Listen.
It went up from $10,000 per person to $40,400.
What?
More than 4 times and that's the rich people taking $40,000 off of, let's say, their real estate taxes. We have members in Congress who their average salary is like $50,000, their constituents. So if the rich people in New York and California get $40,000 off of their real estate taxes, they are getting a tax break almost equal to some of the people, some of the constituents in some of the states that are red. It makes no sense.
Yeah, passing that cost on to us. Congressman, address how Floridians are going to react being forced to subsidize leftist governments in New York, California, and Illinois through this increased deduction.
Yeah, I have fought and fought and fought against this. I fought against it in the committee. I fought against it on the floor. If you look at my social media, President Trump was ridiculously clear 2 days ago when he came and spoke to the conference that we should not increase SALT. We should not benefit Democratic governors, is exactly what he said. And he actually called on Mike Lawler specifically and said, stop talking about it. But that group, that SALT caucus, there was 5 or 6 of them, held their vote back and refused to vote for the package unless there was an increase in the SALT deduction, which, as you reported, is correct. People like Floridians and Texans now have to subsidize the lack of federal income tax that's coming from states like New York, California, and New Jersey. And not only the fiscal side of it, you are incentivizing bad decisions, because now those local governments and state governments in New York, New Jersey, and California are going to say, oh, you can write off $40,000 worth of your federal income taxes because of SALT. So we're going to increase your taxes and pay for LGBTQ transition centers and whatever else leftist programs they want to pay for up there. The good thing about this is, from what I am hearing, is the Senate is supportive of reducing that significantly, if not bringing it back down to the $10,000 cap. I pray and hope, and I look forward to having conversations with my senator colleagues as they move and receive this bill about that, because if you look at it, New York, New Jersey, and California, there's not a single Republican senator that represents that state that's Republican in the Senate. So why would Republican senators benefit Democratic states with this SALT deduction? It is the biggest heartache for me as it relates to this bill, but there was so much good and so much of the president's priorities in there that obviously I wanted to be supportive of the president and push the Trump agenda through.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Congressman. Talk about a lot of the good. I articulated a lot of the good things that are in this bill. Give me your top 3.
Well, the top is taxes. If this bill didn't pass, every American would see like a 65% increase in federal income taxes. Small businesses would see a 20% increase in federal income taxes. The average family of 4 across the nation would see an increase in $3,500 in federal income taxes, so that's huge. Then obviously the things that we're doing at the border to secure our border, finish building the wall, give pay raises to our border security individuals, and then the Iron Dome that you mentioned, focusing on the defense of our continental United States and our sovereign nation, I believe is paramount. Democratic administrations have ignored our military to our detriment, and we have enemies out in the world like China and Russia that would love nothing more to take a swipe at us. So we need to focus in our defense. Those are just 3 big top ticket items that are in there.
All right, let's talk about the last question I have for you. Let's talk about the other big scandal rocking D.C. President AutoPen, you wrote on X, quote, the AutoPen scandal is one of the biggest frauds ever pulled on the American people. These are the same people who lost their minds over unelected Elon Musk simply pulling back the curtain on their racket. They weren't defending democracy. They were defending the swamp. President Trump has suggested that the person or persons who are President AutoPen committed treason here. Congressman, is he right?
Yeah, and they should be prosecuted, investigated. I'm very happy that Chair Comer and the Oversight Committee is launching an investigation on this to get to the bottom of who was really in charge of the White House. You know, when Joe Biden was president, a lot of us Republicans always wondered, like, who's actually running the White House, because we knew it wasn't him. And now we're starting to get the information about all of this, and facts are starting to come to the surface. And now, because Trump's in the White House and we have the DOJ, we have the ability to investigate these things. And if there were things that were done that violated violated our federal law, then those people should be prosecuted for that.